Greetings. Hey, Damian Mason here talking about meat. That's right. Today we're going to talk about meat, and I'm going to address the online misinformation and the social media solutions to our problems that have been presented to the food supply based on the coronavirus response. Headlines like this in USA Today do not help. Where's the beef and the chicken? Should we worry about a meat shortage? Well, the truth is, yeah, we are going to have a meat shortage, and it's going to last for several months because of what's happening with the supply chain. I addressed this in a prior video called More Than Meets the Eye. I would encourage you to check it out, and it'll educate you about how the entire thing works, from an egg to a finished product. Today we're going to talk about all of the panicked and fearful consumers who are, shall we say, agriculturally distanced. They are not at the farm level, and they want to propose a solution because they're just sure that this could be worked out. And let's just start with Ms. Jamie Bernadette, an actress in NCIS. I don't watch NCIS. I have no idea who Ms. Bernadette is. But her tweet was forwarded on to me because she went on Twitter to say that it is true that farmers and ranchers are being paid by the government to euthanize their animals rather than put them into the food supply. Okay, that's not true. It is true that agricultural producers right now are euthanizing, killing, destroying livestock. Why? Because the processors cannot take them. There is no capacity in the middle. With coronavirus issues, the employees are not showing up, or the plants are being shut down. You can't take a pig or a chicken or a steer and turn it into a pork chop or a burger or a chicken breast without the middle, which is the processor. So these farmers and ranchers, in many cases, unfortunately, are destroying market-ready animals or juvenile animals that could be going into the food supply eventually. Why? Because there's no more capacity. There's no more room for them. And they are not being paid to do so. One farmer I know in Illinois tells me he's getting $20 per hog for a 280-pound pig that would be turned into pork chops if there was room at the processing facility to do so. He's being paid $20, as opposed to about $170 that hog would be if it was actually being sold. So $20 for $170 is hardly being paid. These folks are losing a lot of money. The National Pork Producers Council says that this year the industry is going to lose $5 billion. That's misinformation, okay? It's misinformation, Ms. Bernadette, that farmers are being compensated and paid off to kill animals rather than put them in the food supply. There's nothing they would rather do than put those animals into our food supply so we don't have shortages and panic buying of meat at the grocery store. But they can't. There's nowhere to take them. Second piece of misinformation. A number of folks have been proposing, why don't we just, if the plants are closed, why don't we take those animals to a local butcher? Okay, who are these local butchers? Do you actually know one? Because I do. I work with 3 of them in Huntington, Indiana. The one that's 3 miles down the road from me doesn't have any space to do any more until the year 2021. Doesn't have any room, doesn't have any time, can't take on one more animal until next calendar year. So this idea that these local butchers are on every corner, just hanging around with their knives, ready to do some work, and just happen to not have a steer or a chicken or a hog is ludicrous. They're probably already at capacity. Plus, they aren't as plentiful as you think. I know you watched Brady Bunch, and Alice the maid had a fling with Sam the butcher at the grocery store, right? Guess what? That was a TV show. Grocery stores don't actually have butchers. They have meat cutters. They don't have a place. There's not something in the back of your Kroger or your Safeway where you unload a truck full of steers and they can kill it and process it into hamburgers, okay? Get past this whole local butcher thing because they're probably already full and there's not nearly as many as you once thought that there were. Third thing, and this was ridiculous. Why don't we just take those animals to a foreign country where they need it? Okay, you're going to load up a whole boat with live hogs. Who's going to feed and water them for the 3 weeks it takes to transport them? And when we get there, we're going to let them swim to shore to the nearest processing facility? It's a ludicrous idea. Then there's the fourth thing that I've seen. I've seen too much of it. I've seen hostility. 2 Wisconsin dairymen have had death threats because some angry consumer decided that they were being terrible for dumping milk rather than giving it to the poor. You can't give raw milk to a food bank in an 8,000-gallon tanker truck. First off, it's illegal. Secondly, I want you to think about what you do when you go online, as I have seen, and say these farmers are just being greedy, dumping that food when people are starving right now. They could be giving that to the poor. The people of agriculture are called to this. They don't generally do it for the money. It is their business, but they do it because they believe they are called to do it. I have seen grown farmers with calloused hands, tough guys, tear up at the image of a food insecure child. There's nothing that these farmers would rather do than put this food in the food supply. The reality is there's some problems in the middle. There's no processing. So stop with this crap of blaming any agricultural worker, producer, farmer, rancher, and saying that somehow they've done something wrong. All they've done is produce and try to feed you. My name is Damian Mason. I'm the author of Food Fear. I appreciate your support. I will keep giving you the information. Please share this with your well-intentioned yet far from the farm friends so they understand what we're up against and realize that some of these solutions that they are seeing online are impractical at best, ludicrous at worst. Thank you so much. Till next time.